Today I'll be showing you my Hall of Fame bulldozer build, but before you skip to the tutorial, let me show you how to use this build the right way. So just like how I explained in my last video on the bulldozer badge, when it comes to the build, you want to look to try and exploit mismatches. And with this build, you get plenty of shooting, finishing, strength, ball handling, and passing that no matter who's guarding you, you'll be able to find a mismatch on the floor, whether that's for you to score or for your teammate to score. Now, as we see these clips that are playing on the screen right now, you'll notice the large variety of things that this build can do. So whether your play style is to 3 hunt behind screens, run 5 out, to spot up as a sharpshooter, or to even play in the high post, then you just might be interested in this build. But with all of these options, I don't want you to get lost in the sauce and to use this build the wrong way. So let me break down some of these play styles and how to pick apart any of the mismatches that are on the floor. Now, if you have a mismatch directly on you, whether that's a small guard or a shooting guard with only steal and low strength, I want you to go directly at this person. I want you to use post spins, close shots, post fadeaways, and even back doors to make them have to play a lot of defense on you, and you're basically gonna use your strength to your advantage because they're not gonna be able to stop you. You can see right here, I'm posting up the little guard, I get a drop step, he's not even able to get a contest on me. On this possession right here, I post spin, I get stopped, but it makes me fall back into my post fadeaway and he's not able to get a contest. Right here, I get a post spin, and what you're gonna notice here is I get the open layup, but this pop right here from my center is open, and you're gonna see the center is helping. And this is where being able to expose that first mismatch is gonna allow you to pass the ball over to your other teammates. So you can see right here, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to post the guard over and over again. I get a post spin, but this is real important right here on this assist. You're gonna see after the post spin, I don't just go directly straight into a driving layup. I slow myself down, I hold L1 to see what this corner is about to do. He immediately jumps and I'm able to pass the ball out to the open shooter. And you're gonna see we got an open 3 from that. On this possession as well, I'm gonna abuse the mismatch, but I also call a cross with my shooting guard, so he's going over to the other wing. And you can see right here, I hit the post spin on the guard, and because of that, the shooting guard starts paying attention to me because he knows I have more strength than the guard. And because I called the cross, my shooting guard gets wide open for a 3. So now one thing a team might do to try and stop you from scoring like this is to call a 2-3 zone. But since you already have the floor spread out, you can see right here, I call a wrap for my shooting guard. And what this does right here is that it makes these two have to engage on somebody. So since I'm going into the mid-range and I have a high mid-range, the center has to pick between guarding my center's pop or guarding me on the drive, and at the same time my shooting guard's coming over here. This guard has to pick between my shooting guard and the center, and he has to pick between me and the center. So you can see right here, I throw the dot over to my center, he engages with my shooting guard and he tries to help in the paint, which leaves my center wide open. So now for the second way of playing, you can also switch it up and use screens. Once your defender is clipped on the screen and you have an open shot, you just shoot the ball. But now, once that happens, you get their center to pick up. Once that happens, you hit your center with the slip, as you can see. And then after that, you can also use the screen and fake a drive or try and get a drive, and this opens up your center's pop. And like that, their whole defense is kind of all over the place and they have to scramble and cluster to try and stop you. And another thing too on the screen as well is once you start setting the screens and they could see you could efficiently score on it, this might cause the shooting guard to like try and stop paying attention to our shooting guard, because you can see right here, once the center steps, their shooting guard tries to show over at the slip, but he doesn't realize that my shooting guard is curling up, and that split second gives him a wide open 3. So you guys just want to try and take whatever the defense gives you, and you want to continue to make them have to adjust to whatever you're doing each possession. Now, another aspect of using screens is that you can use it to force a mismatch. So you can see right here, this is the defender that's guarding me. So once he gets hit by the screen, I post up their center so that it engages him to have to guard me. So now the lockdown has to go to my center's pop to stop him from getting an open 3. Now the secret sauce here is that once I call a cut from my center, usually most times the center will try and back up and guard that and make the lockdown switch back onto me. But during that switch, that gives me an open space to shoot the ball, and 9 times out of 10 you could shoot a post fadeaway if they back up off you, and you'll be able to get an open shot. And even if you miss, your center will be able to get the rebound. Now on this possession right here, you're gonna see I do the same thing, but when I call the cut, if the center doesn't back up off me, sometimes what they would do is have the corner pick up on the cut and they'll have the defender drop over to the corner. So when they do that, what you want to do is you want to dot the corner and it'll be an open 3. Even something else that you could do too is you could set the screens as well on the inbound. So usually as the guard, people will expect me to go towards the ball, but instead what I do is, since my shooting guard has dunk in his build, what I do is I set him an off ball at the top and he just cuts straight to the basket, and we get a free lob right there. So now for the last style I'll speak on is playing in the high post, and I recommend doing this if your center is able to shoot middies and 3-pointers. So what you can do right here is when your center is like working free throw line or even under that, what you can try and do is have your shooting guard cut to the basket, like right here we're about to call it, and then all go and replace that wing, and like that it breaks down their defense because they're so worried about the cut that it leaves me wide open at the 3-point line. And then another option you have is you can intertwine with your center and go high post as well, and it'll give you that isolation mismatch that you want instead of having to dribble there all the time. But right here, this could either be me getting the ball or me setting a screen. It's kind of hard to tell. So sometimes what we do right here is, you see how he drives to the left? Once he drives to the left, my man might try and switch, and this gives me a wide open pop for a 3. Now let's say you do get the ball in the high post, whether you're on the wing or by the top of the key, you can continue to use your post spins, close shots to try and score, but you could also call something. So right here, I pull my icons up, I tell my lockdown to cut to the basket, and you can see he's able to get that open lane to go for a dunk. Once he catches it, that causes my man to try and help. And what does that leave me open for? I'm able to fade out for my own open 3. Now to get into the build. Before I even get to the build, let me say this one thing. Me personally, I didn't bring this build out till I got it to a 98 or 99 overall, because I feel like every attribute you put on this build is really important. So me personally, I wouldn't bring this build out till it's like a 98 overall. But if you just play park, then you don't really have to worry too much about that, to be honest. So to start the build off, I went point guard. For the height, I went 6'7". For the weight, I went max weight at 230, and for the wingspan, I went 6'10". So to start the build off, the first thing you want to put is a 71 close shot, and you want to put a 91 driving layup. And with this, you guys are gonna see you get a whole bunch of Hall of Fame and gold badges, y'all. You see gold slithery, Hall of Fame giant slayer, gold fearless finisher. You guys are gonna be able to lay people, don't worry about it. Now onto the driving and standing dunk. If I could, I would have a high ass driving dunk, but you can't do that because the builder is limited. So for the driving dunk, you want to go with a 36, and the standing dunk, you want to go with a 40. And again, I'm a person, I show clips throughout each section of the categories, so you're gonna see clips of me dunking, clips of me laying people, so you can see what the finishing is like on the build. And for post control, you get a 92 post control, and this is gonna be very important because you'll get gold unpluckable with the 92 post control. This is like one of the most important parts about this build. Also with this 92 post control paired with your strength, you're able to get a lot of important post up badges like Hall of Fame back down punisher and the Hall of Fame post spin technician, which is very important if you want to be able to exploit the little guards or the shooting guards that have defense in the build but have low strength. Now onto the shooting. For your mid-range, you're not going to be putting a 92 mid-range, but instead what you're going to be putting is a 93 mid-range, because with this you get Hall of Fame catch and shoot, and you also get gold whistle, which is going to pair well with your 91 driving layup and the 71 close shot, so that you'll be able to get more foul calls. You'll also be able to shoot post fadeaways, so when people try and reach on you while you're in a post or they jump at you, you'll get a lot more calls. and also with this high mid-range, you get Hall of Fame open looks. Now for the 3-ball, what you want to go with is an 86 3-ball. I went with 86 instead of 85 because you get the silver agent threes. So if you're, L2 canceling behind screens or trying to shoot quick stops and peaks, you kind of want to have that silver agent threes just so that your green window is still as good, even though you might be a little lower on stamina from dribbling. Now for the free throw, you want to go with an 85 free throw. I have no complaints with it. I use Paul George free throw animation. It's good. I don't really have much else to say about that. Now for the pass accuracy, I am going to go with a 77. Now for the people who's going to be like 77 is too low. Listen, if I could put 91 and bailout pass and pass like LeBron and Luka, I would do it. But this is a limited builder. I can only do what I can do. But one thing that I do not want you guys to sleep on is post playmaker. I did not notice until I made this build. When you're in the post, it basically speeds up your passes. Like when I regularly pass the ball, it feels like a 77 pass accuracy. But when I pass out of the post, I kid you not, it feels like an 85 to 87 pass speed. I wouldn't lie to y'all. If y'all make the build, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. For the ball handle, you want to go with a 91 ball handle because this will give you gold handles for days. And I'm telling you, it is definitely worth it if you're going to be dribbling behind the screens. Me personally, I always want to be able to have that option to dribble behind the screens with this build just because it's an extra option. And for the speed with ball, max it out at 81. Just in case y'all don't know, whichever season's about to come out with Devin Booker, I don't know if it's 5, 6, 7, whatever it is, you guys want to go to 81 speed. I know at 80 speed with ball, supposedly you're going to get Devin Booker dribble style. So if you're about to make a new build for the season, this build gets Devin Booker dribble style. So now onto the defense. You want to keep your interior at 56. Yes, I know. Listen, you have a 96 strength, because you're going to have Hall of Fame bulldozer. Even though I didn't show you, you're going to have a high strength. So you're going to be able to get Hall of Fame immovable enforcer. So just chill. If you can't guard your back door with the 6'7" Hall of Fame immovable enforcer, that has nothing to do with the build or the stats. I'm gonna just be honest. Now what you are gonna upgrade right here is you're gonna get yourself a 89 steal so that you can get gold interceptor. So usually when you're dribbling the ball and stuff, you're gonna be the first, and you're like shooting from the top of the key or the wing, you're gonna be the first person back on defense. And you're gonna see from the clips, I'm able to bait a lot of people out of the corner. If I didn't have any steal, I wouldn't be able to do that. So with this build, I'm able to play good interior defense like on back doors, and I'm still able to steal the ball if they try to throw the ball at my face. Now for your speed and acceleration, you want to go with an 81 speed, and then your excel, you want to go with a 73, which will give you silver blow by and silver speed booster. Now for those of you that are going to be skeptical on silver speed booster, I understand, but this build is a build that's mainly about scoring on all different parts of the floor. You don't have to be the fastest person on the court to be able to get an open shot. You can take what the defense gives you. You can post people up with your strength. You can shoot. You can still dribble too. You have a 91 ball handle. But if you don't even think silver speed booster is worth it, what I will say is go in quick match, play with SGA on OKC, and you won't even realize that he has silver speed booster. This is kind of what even made me like fully make this build, because once I played with SGA, I'm like, damn, he only has silver speed booster and he's moving like that. So that's why on the build, I prioritized 91 ball handles so I could get gold handles for days with the gold ankle breaker, and I just use that to get myself open. I use more so of the ball handling ability to get me into the right spots and to score technically rather than like just based off of my speed and athleticism, if that makes sense. If somebody's giving me a mid-range, I'm gonna do 1-2 moves, crab them, and then shoot that mid-range. If I have a mismatch on me, I'm just gonna post them up. I don't have to be the fastest person on the court in order to find an open shot. But just to show you guys all of the badges again, you can see with the 91 driving layup, you're gonna have a whole bunch of golden Hall of Fame badges, Hall of Acrobat, gold slithery, gold bunny, gold whistle, whole float game, everything that you need. When it comes to the post control, gold unpluckable, Hall of Fame back down, gold drop stepper, Hall of Fame post fade phenom. When it comes to the shooting, you guys see gold blinders, gold dead eye, Hall of Fame catch and shoot, HOF guard up, and HOF open looks too. I forgot to mention that too. The fact that you get HOF open looks, even though you only get bronze limitless range, kind of like weighs it out a lot better. It helps the 86 3-point shot a lot. Now onto my animations. You can see T-Mac base, Oscar Robinson upper, Kyle Korver upper is 64-36. But one thing that you have to remember that I want you guys to know, since you're 6'7", your release speed can't be very quick. It's gonna be quick. If you look at the bottom left, it says release speed quick. It's not very quick. The jump shot's still like a fast jumper, but the time is just gonna be a little bit like a 5% difference between like what your jumper would be with a 6'6". For my dunk styles, rim grazes off 2, rim grazes off 1, and then standing dunk, I just have the 2-hand under basket regular. And now for my scoring moves, free throw Paul George, LeBron James on layup style. Another one that you could also use is Jaylen Brown. I was using that, and it's pretty like I'll say it's like a simple layup package. Like when you're open, it just gives you like conservative layups. It's not really anything flashy. It's like kind of consistent, but it's not anything OP where you're just going to be laying everybody every possession. Showed y'all the dunk style: Pro 2 dribble pull up, spin jumper normal, hop jumper Jason Tatum. But I'll be putting on Devin Booker once that finally comes out. Now for my dribble moves, I'll be switching it around sometimes. So I'm going to show you my non-meta moves and my meta moves. So right here is my non-meta dribble moves. For De'Aaron Fox escape moves, this is important to know. This you can only get it with a 91 ball handle. So if you make your build with like an 85, 87 ball handle, you can't get this escape move. Everything else though, KD crossover is how I do the little drop cross that I like right there. That's how I do my little drop cross. As far as behind the back, Tyrese Halliburton, y'all see the rest. And now these would be my meta moves, and the only difference would be Jamal Murray behind the back, Kemba Walker escape moves, De'Aaron Fox signature size up. For the dribble style, I would put on Devin Booker once it comes out. Honestly, I don't really see too much of a difference. I'm gonna just have to try it out when it comes out in like a day or two. So yeah, those are pretty much my non-meta and my meta dribble moves that I recommend for like taller guard builds, 6'6", 6'7s. If you're able to like really use those moves and bulldoze people and use your strength, you're gonna be a problem, bro. But if you don't know how to activate Hall of Fame Bulldozer, be sure to check out my last video.